Hey everybody, we're back. It's Ed and Chris. And we are here to talk about some wines that you picked up, most likely, or if you're just watching for the pure enjoyment of, enjoyment, or maybe you're being punished for something and you had to watch this as your punishment.
There are worse crimes.
Yeah, that's true. So we do this every single week. We love doing it. We love talking about food and wine, and we have two delicious things to talk about today. And we usually kind of talk about our week as we go through.
Yeah, kind of fill in the spot. We like to talk about the week in review and talk about what's coming up.
Yeah, because the people that actually come here and taste every Thursday in person, we get to catch up. And I feel like we don't really get to catch up with you folks out there virtually. I do appreciate all the people that have been supporting the program and the people that have been adding on to the list of people. You know,
Yeah,
we're seeing
we're
more people.
expanding, yeah.
Yeah,
A
seeing
lot
more.
of new faces last week.
Yeah, we're glad to see that people are joining in the fun, whether they can be here or not. So that's a good thing. And the family meals, of course, we sure do appreciate all the people picking up family meals. It really does help our restaurant when we can only feed half the amount of people we used to. We really need those extra avenues of income to help keep our restaurant flowing. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to start. Oh, can I say one quick thing?
Sure.
I know this. We're in the past. We're making this for the future, and I know. But I just wanted to wish Mrs. Wishart a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Miss Wishart. We certainly are grateful for you.
She is one sweet woman to put up with you.
Sainthood.
I don't know how she does it. So here we are. We're actually upstairs today. Just so you know, this might be a little different background than you're accustomed to seeing with us. We are up in the Fish Hippie showroom, up above the restaurant. Down below, the 2 floors below the restaurant's a very, very busy place today. And
It sure is.
all of our muscadines were picked over the last couple days, and they have arrived. And Tyler and the boys are down there starting fermentation, the juicing, seeding, skinning, all the good stuff that comes.
Yeah,
with the hard work.
pressing and filtering, and they've got all the big toys out. They had the hopper and feeding it into the presser, which runs through the filter. It's fascinating to watch.
It really is, yeah. The whole
the-
city block smells like muscadines. It's
The
beautiful.
mechanics behind winemaking is really fascinating. You know, we're used to the retail side of it, where everything's beautiful.
Yeah.
The labels are beautiful. The bottles are beautiful. Everything we talk about, it's all beautiful. But you got to have boots on to make wine.
That's true. It is. It's not a dainty job.
No, it's not.
It's farming, really. And then I just wanted to show you that. Just we're talking about beautiful bottle. Man, that is a beautiful
That's
label here. I
gorgeous,
know I got
right?
a little bit of glare from the city reflections off the buildings, but here we have. This is from the Hope family, Triana. They're Triana White, and they do a red and a white blend. You may have known them from really one of their most famous labels is Liberty School. I think a lot of people have had that at some point in their life. And this is from Paso Robles. And Paso Robles, I guess I'm kind of maybe brainwash you by telling you so much, but Paso Robles is a great place for wine. It is ever growing. It is one of the most popular places right now. Fast growing, great reputation, still great value.
Still great value.
Mhm.
I mean, people are learning, but it's not a tidal wave.
Yeah. The
and
prices
I'm
haven't soared yet.
Can't wait to try this. I'm used to reds from Paso Robles.
Yeah.
They're kind of on the map for their reds.
Absolutely.
And so to see this is
And
that color.
look at this beaut. We got a ton of color here. So this is kind of now this also has H. So you got a little bit of H here. I wanted to kind of show you New World white wine aging. And I think this is a really, really good example of it. You get a lot of, Viognier is known for having, these extra tertiary flavors and smells when it ages in the bottle, a lot like Riesling. And this is no exception. This is beautiful. It's also got Roussanne and Marsanne. Those are so all three of these are classic white Rhone varietals, and you'll see these. We love Gigal. That's one of our favorite white Côte de Rhône whites, and Chateauneuf whites. There's so many Côte de Ventoux whites. There's so many great whites from that region, and this is certainly the tip of the cap to that area. But I would say they have taken it to another level.
Oh, and to be sure, I mean, this is to me anyway, it's a lot bigger.
It's big.
It's a lot bigger than
it's big.
a Côte de Ventoux white. I mean,
Yeah.
this is American style
It is
French
big.
grade wine. I mean,
The label reads 14.5%, and I guarantee it's every bit of that. There's no shortage of alcohol here. And big, plush mouthfeel. For people that drink Chardonnays, and they really only drink Chardonnays, I would love to get wines like this in front of them and let them know that because typically I find the people that are into Chardonnays like it because of that texture, that weight. Chardonnays are kind of known as the biggest white wine out there.
and their mouthfeel is so big too.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're drinking Chardonnay, I mean, that's your day. I mean, it coats your mouth. It's big, but the color on this, you'd fool a lot of people before you gave it the nose test with that.
Yeah.
It looks like a big oaky Chard.
Right, and of course, this again, one of the things that would separate this New World version from the French versions is the presence of oak, and of course that's a contributor to the color as well. So we have kind of that intense California sun giving it more color. We have the fact that it's got a little age on it, and the fact that it's got oak, and all those contribute to this beast. I love it.
It's huge.
I mean,
delicious.
It's almost chewy.
It is.
Yeah.
And this is one of those wines as it warms up gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them soften up, but this is
Chewy.
yeah.
I was really excited when I first tasted this. I've been waiting for like a month or two. I think you had actually mentioned, like, are you ever gonna use that box of wine there? I was like, well, I just haven't had the right, people ask me how I pick these wines. Well, I pick them way out, as I taste them, I acquire them. And then when I'm putting wines together for Thursday night tasting, I don't want to have like everything gigantic wine and not everything a light wine. So I'm just trying to pick my spot where this would fit in with the rest.
You can't put four wines. I think that's a lot of people. You can't put four wines you like together for a tasting.
Yeah.
Right. Just because you like them. I mean, because your palate will get blown out. There's all these things to consider.
You got to think of, and of course, now don't get me wrong, I like them all, but you don't just go to the first four.
That's what I mean, right? You don't just say, I like these four, let's do it. I mean, there's a process.
Right, yeah.
And also, it's amazing how many times, I don't know why this happened. I mean, this has happened forever. Even when I had a wine program, it happened to me all the time. A rep would come in, we'd taste through a bunch of stuff. I'd love 2 or 3 of them. It's like, yeah, let's send it. I'd be like, oh, well, we don't have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it's
happens a lot.
shocking. Like, my favorite wines I remember from tastings would be like, well, it'd be about 3 weeks back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why'd you bring it to sample if you
right.
don't have it? But
It is a tricky business, and we've had a couple times a year it happens where we sell so much wine that we sell out of their inventories, and I think that Jackson was a great example. They had to send wine out from California to fill our order, which they were totally impressed that Mount Airy could sell that kind of wine in one sitting.
well, and usually too, we were lucky that happened. A lot of times you have to wait for the next vintage.
That's true.
You can't go out and just pull off the shelf. And
Right.
You really do have to wait. Even if that vintage is it's usually already bottled and ready. It's just they don't want to release it till
Right.
it's had its time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's wild.
Well, this is a beaut, and they also have a great red, and of course, their Liberty School stuff. They have Quest. They have like 5 different labels.
Oh,
Troublemaker.
Quest.
There's a Troublemaker's another good one, but this is a beautiful line. I love it. It's this is more. It's like New World versions of Old World wines, I guess, is the best way to put this. And Paso Robles, kids. Yeah, I'm gonna say it once. I'll probably say it 1,000 more times. It's a great place to get some delicious wine, and at a great value. It drinks way above the price point.
It sure does. It's delicious.
We talked about some cheese.
Yeah, we've got a great cheese with this. This is from a creamery we don't use a lot. It's Cumberland County, Tennessee. So Cumberland Creamery is fantastic. This is their tone, which is a raw cow's milk. And we were talking earlier before we started, you love the kind of the wild characteristics of the tone with this wine.
Oh, yeah.
And
Big wine, big cheese.
it's a big cheese, and
Yeah.
it's got a beautiful rind on it. It's got great age, even for a raw milk. I mean, it's just hitting all the points. Now it came in today, so we're really excited about serving that with this. That's going to be a ride.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
hopefully,
Flavor buds will be pushed to the limit.
and hopefully, let it warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat the cheese right out of the fridge. I don't know if you put your tasting kit in the fridge or but if you can, and if you did just take it out of the fridge, maybe put a little napkin over it, put your hand on it, leave it there for a minute, let just the body heat of your hand warm it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it, like wine, the temperature variation on cheese is very important.
Yeah. And for you, you out there that are getting these bottles of white, I don't automatically give people a wine chiller with white wines because I like the way the bottle evolves when the temperature comes up. Now, if it's evolving in a direction you don't like, well then rechill it. But I just love the way they change. You find things that are somewhat hidden by cooler temperatures. I tell people this all the time. There's a reason why Coors Light is served at 32 degrees, because at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 and up, it tastes terrible.
Oh, it's one of the worst things you'll ever have in your life.
And, great wines, we feel like we deliver great wines.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have these kind of flaws that these inferior wines or like beers have at temperature change. And so I think it's kind of fun to see. I like to see what's kind of hidden behind the chill, so to speak.
That's a great way to put it, and it does hide the flavors, and it's like turning a light on when you let it warm up a little bit, just to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't be afraid to have those come up to temp a little bit. You'd be surprised what you can discover in a 55-degree white wine.
Well, and I think too, it's right and well that you both start and let it warm up, because really when you're first starting out, a warm wine can kind of shock your palate and everything.
And you like that chili refreshment.
Yeah, and so it's good. Like now you can settle down. You got a little juice in your system. And things are gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of ready for the nuance.
You can take the training wheels off at that
If you
point.
started without it, if you started that way, it would probably not be the best experience. For me, anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chef. Start cold and let it go from there. And of course, by all means, do whatever the heck you want. You pay for the wine. You do what you want. These are just little
Suggestions.
Yeah. And this is like the shortest cork I've ever seen. I guess Portugal's short, although most cork come there. Look how tiny
Look at that.
it is.
It's a teat cork.
It's a little baby cork.
Maybe that's why they were able to knock 5 cents off the price.
Well, I tell you what, these prices, I can see why they have to cut the corners on their corkage.
Well, it does its job.
It,
I mean,
absolutely, yeah.
do we really have to kill that many trees if a smaller one will do its job? I mean, so it's kind of nice.
Alrighty, so Zoe, this is from the Dow. If you don't know the Dow, one of the, I guess it's got a very prominent name in Portugal. It's not one of the biggest areas. There you go, and producer here. All right, and again, we got a couple of 2015s here, and Portugal's been just killing it with their vintages lately. They just claimed back-to-back vintage years in port. That hardly ever happens.
Wow.
So look for some amazing ports to be released vintage-wise very soon. Of course, when the vintage ports are good, that also means the late harvest ones are great, and just the everyday drinker.
Everybody benefits.
Yeah, the whole country. So, but we have been big on Portuguese wines for a very long
You
time.
have been on Portugal. I mean, you've been on it, for a long time.
But I mean, to me, it's like you're getting so much bang for your buck because people can't pronounce the grapes. It's really, that's what it
I
really
can't
boils
sell
down
this.
to. Yeah, yeah, and so this is actually a pretty straightforward one as far as grapes goes. Touriga nacional. Touriga nacional is one of the most prominent grapes that is used to make port. And boy, this is an exciting grape. I love this grape because it brings the thunder. And as you can see here, this screen might make it look a little bit darker than it is, but it is a dark.
Actually, it's got some good color to it, considering what your
It's got
Portuguese red.
Yeah, it's got some, because it does have some age. It has a little bit of brickish red out to the meniscus there.
A little rust color there, like the old Italians.
And that's kind of what I was coming up to, because this has a lot of those Italian characteristics where it's kind of medium body, but has intensity of flavor. I find that the medium body wines of the New World tend to be not as intense flavor-wise, where like in Italy, Spain, Portugal, their medium weight wines are just strong and robust. And Chris, I think you would probably say that you just basically transitioned to this kind of style of wine for the generally. This is where you head. You're not heading for those bigger wines.
I've been here for about a year now.
Yeah.
Maybe 8 months, and this is could not be more in my wheelhouse. It's a big wine without the big fruit, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, I don't know what it is with me, but I'm just like anti-jam right now.
Yeah.
I'm just, the big fruit, I mean, all the wine is littered with fruit. So it's not that, it's just the over-the-top stuff is what I'm just not doing like cabs and big petite sirahs.
Chewy
right
stuff.
now. Yeah, but this is
So we went from a white that was
fabulous.
Was certainly chewy. And it really, I think, it's interesting, following that white is bigger than this.
Yeah, it
and
is.
it really showcases. Now, when I was tasting this after reds initially, I found it to be, I knew it was a medium weight, but I thought it was kind of medium plus. But now after tasting it after that big, heavy, robust white, I'd almost say it's a medium minus in weight. It's that finish is so clean.
The finish is subtle and it falls off.
Yeah.
But I don't know if drinking this first that would be true, because the
tannins are there.
The tannins are there, but the Viognier Roussanne was so over the top.
Yeah.
I don't know if it blew me out.
Yeah.
Or if this is actually that light.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near light on flavor.
No.
I mean, it's got spice. It's got licorice. I mean, it is very. You're not drinking dark water here. I mean, this is on the flavor profile. It's outstanding. It's just the weight of it.
Yeah. And this is one of those reds. And Chris, when we were talking about, I guess what was it yesterday? We were talking about doing the food pairings for the Thursday night tasting.
Yeah.
He's like, "What am I going to expect here?" And I said, "Well, you can do this with that wine. You can, throw this at that wine." And I pointed at this one and said, "You can throw anything at this wine, because it is that." And,
You really could. I mean, you could. You could go shrimp to lamb on this.
You sure could, yeah. And Portugal being mostly coastal, and I always say this, that the old world wines are directed towards their cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much in the new world, because we're just making wines to make wines and not based on food. But the old world's Portugal, Italy, France, Spain, Germany, these places were designing their wines and growing their wines and making their wines to complement their cuisines.
Yes.
And that was what they did. So seafood would be abundant. In Portugal, and so it would only make sense that their wines would be seafood friendly.
Well, it's like you've always said, what grows together goes together.
It seems to work. There's very few exceptions. And this is beauty. Now, the Dow is kind of like in the central part, northern central, I guess. It's not right exactly at the middle, but it is a little bit inland. It's on the Madeira River, which is a huge area. But the Dow region is somewhat small. Most of the regions of Portugal are small, and it's a small country to begin with. But they produce a lot of wine. And unfortunately, Americans just haven't really got into Portugal outside of port, and port prices are quite aggressive in a lot of areas, particularly in vintage years.
Yes, they are, because so many people, even people who don't drink wine, are like, oh yeah, I like port.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, that's not a.
Mhm.
They can, I don't want to say justify, but there's a baseline, there's a reasoning for those price points.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can get away
And
with it.
so, while their cash cows are making the money, we can still get these insanely low prices
More
on,
for us,
on
right?
their table wines, and that is more for us, chef. And yeah, I'm gonna do my part. I know you're probably already in your mind thinking about how many you're gonna order.
Well, I'm thinking that Mrs. Wishart would love this for her birthday.
Yeah,
A case or three. So yes, these are going to have a welcome American home here with us.
How did you enjoy the pies? Did you get into that yet?
Deeply.
Deeply.
And it's funny because Mrs. Wishart, not so
Didn't
much.
care for it.
No. She liked it, but I'm just saying.
Oh, she was.
If she had a preference.
Oh yeah.
Because we got the pies and you got us the Cote de Rhône.
Mm-hmm.
So when you give her a choice, it's Cote de Rhône.
Every
So
time.
she didn't.
Yeah.
And of course, we had that Nebbiolo that I've been sitting on that got from you like a month or 6 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And I opened it the other night late and only had like a glass and just put the cork back in it. And she got into it the next day when I was at work, or the next night when I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just all over it. Now, it was a little big for me, it was a little peppery for me.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't love it, but, it wouldn't be my get home from work go-to.
Right.
But she
Need
was
something
just
a little
all over it.
refreshing when
So
you start.
the pious is more my style.
Mhm.
Of course, she'll drink anything, like we all will. But
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of her style, she likes them a little more, she likes the jammy,
Right.
fruity, peppery
She's gonna be
wines.
killing this.
She'll love this.
Yeah.
So I have to make
So
sure to
this
hide
is-
a bottle or two.
Yeah. Well, this is absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Chef, the takeout food, we started doing delivery. So
Free.
we got free delivery.
Free.
Within what, 5 miles-ish?
Ish, yeah, give or take, we're not gonna be too hard as sticklers, but we'd probably cut it off at 20. I mean, so.
Yeah, we're probably not gonna drive down to the Bowman's house.
No, well, though I'd like to.
Oh, yeah.
If a
I
family
highly
meal
recommend
gets
it.
back down
I
there.
highly recommend it if you get an opportunity. What a beautiful place.
But we need, like we talked, we need to have a baseline. 5 miles is kind of our wheelhouse,
Yeah.
and we need to live there. It's not that we won't make exceptions, but just day in, day out, that's what we want to do. But and just to reiterate what you were saying earlier, we were so grateful for the support that the family meals have received both during quarantine and while we're open. We think it's a nice gesture to throw that in there. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
something, our little way of saying thank you to make that convenience a little bit more so.
And it's, with delivery, it's helped us bring back another employee that's
Yes.
been patiently waiting on the sidelines. And, we are a fragmented family here. We got to bring back a lot of our staff. I didn't bring back all of it. And, we are family, and we love to keep, everybody, under one roof.
Yeah, one more piece came back
Yeah,
today.
and that was kind of special reunion. And, things, as they loosen up and things get better, we'll have, we'll get to get reunited with some more, I guess.
Well, I hope we're all hoping for some good news this fall. I know it's going to be a
Touch and go.
well, it's kind of hard coming off a pandemic, going into flu season, where the symptoms share the same.
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
gonna think you automatically have COVID.
Well, and I just think that it's just terrible timing.
Yeah.
And so we'll have to tiptoe through cold and flu season here and keep everybody safe. And but I have every confidence that
Mhm.
hitting the holidays and on, we'll be able to get normal. And certainly we're making decisions on what we think's best. We're not going to go above any state issued order, but it doesn't necessarily mean we'll go forward with it either.
We were.
We're going to take it at our pace.
Yeah, we waited several weeks after restaurants opened in North Carolina before we reopened because, we didn't know how people were gonna behave.
And I think that was the prudent thing to do. I mean, we don't want to. What's a couple of weeks in the big scheme of things?
Yeah, right.
If it means the difference of And it's funny that one thing we did learn while we were closed and other restaurants were opening, they weren't packing in the doors.
No.
So, I mean, I don't think we missed out on a tidal wave there.
No, we didn't.
So I think that was the right call, and, we did it at our pace, and we made sure our protocols we were comfortable with our protocols.
Yeah.
And they proved to
With
be
this,
successful.
and the staff training we got to do before
Yes.
we reopened, that was good too.
Well, we haven't had a single issue, and a lot of places have, so I think that may.
Knock on
Knock
oak
on-
barrel.
Knock on wood, but I think that's a testament to the staff and the cautious manner we've approached
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Well, we've been rocking and rolling here on Thursday nights. It's been just great. We're keeping our distance. We're having a great time drinking wine. For you that are out there, we do miss having you here, but we are so glad to be able to deliver this to you every week and hope that you keep joining us. And like I said, we'll keep doing it till you're tired of us, and then we'll keep doing it.
Well, they're already tired of us,
Yeah,
but they
that's
like
right.
to watch.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget to share this video with friends. Even if they don't have these wines to taste with, tell them about it. They might get a little bit of the bug and want to join us just by watching this. Or it might turn them off from wine forever.
The beer industry will thank us. for that.
Yeah, right.
But I do want to touch on the food that goes.
Oh,
with
yes,
this real
yes.
quick for
Yep,
this.
sorry,
So
Chef.
we've got well, we get. It happens to us both.
Yeah.
We get excited. So we've got a beautiful little mushroom pate. Really, it looks more like custard because of the ramekin that I make it in. But so we had some nice cremini mushrooms, roasted those off ahead of time, pureed them with a little egg and mustard and some aromatics. Baked those in a water bath and pressed them a little bit. So you got just a really nice little mushroom pate. They're very earthy. Gonna go great with this.
Oh, yes.
The spice of this wine. And of course, I always throw a treat or an extra treat or so in there with your pate. So you're gonna have some nice little surprises. I'm thinking some of those focaccia toast points, maybe some of those olives with.
Oh, yes.
That'd be great. I think that's gonna be
Absolutely.
really set that off. So, there's always treats in your tasting kit. That's what I'm thinking as of right now. Of course, we're a day out, and we live hour to hour over here. So
That's true.
that's what I'm thinking now. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
And with these, we have the constant flow of farmers, and we never know what chef's gonna have walk in his back door, and he might be like, oh, wait, I gotta share
things
this.
change a lot on Thursday
I've got
afternoon.
something
Yeah,
totally,
yeah, yeah.
like it's in an upgrading way,
Yeah.
it's not,
Oh yeah, always. We always
yeah,
upgrade.
as you well know. Well, anything else, Chef, before I
It's been great.
prematurely cut us off?
Not
again?
at all. I mean, happy fall, everybody. I mean, we love the crispness of the air, and of course, this is an exciting time for Ed and I because, we're kind of at the end of. So it's been a hot summer for us, and the kitchen, the restaurant is it wears on you. Always sweating, and when you leave, the humidity. You really never cool down. You just go months without ever really being comfortable. So the weather cooling down, it also means the fall crops. The fish change, the produce changes, and to me it's for the better.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna get into some bigger foods,
Mhm.
some bigger pairings, and I just love hearty eating. I've never been cut out for rabbit food.
Well,
I love the colors and I love working with it, but in terms of just me personally, what I get
yeah.
excited about is cooking in the fall.
Well, Saturday night is short ribs.
Short ribs.
And if y'all are thinking about doing a family meal, I mean, all of them are great. I mean, the veggie plate today is beautiful, very popular.
The new beets back in today were great. We've been
Yeah,
out.
beets,
We've been without
another
beets.
fall
Well, we've been
meal.
out without beets for almost 3 weeks now,
Yeah.
and that's been a hard
Yeah.
thing waiting for the new crops. And that veggie plate's something.
Yeah.
But the short ribs are tremendous, and we had people that've been getting them, and I get stopped in the grocery store and asked about them. I mean, it's
They're that good.
they're that good, and they're that. To me, it's like it's hard to do short ribs at home because
It's
who
a
really wants to
commitment.
spend 6 hours?
Yeah.
That's my job.
Yeah.
You just enjoy your Saturday. Let me waste 6 hours on something over the top. So it'd be great.
Yeah, and they're always delicious, Chef. Grab a bottle of wine, grab some short ribs, and your day is made.
Day made. The high is 62 on Saturday.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
That's good. That's good eating weather.
Yeah. So everybody make your plans to join us again next Thursday. And if you need any family meals, we're happy to get those for you. Just call and order here at the winery. Ask for Becca or Haley, or you can ask for Ed, and we'll get you all hooked up. And we look forward to seeing you next week, I guess.
We look forward to it very much, and thank you again for spending this time with us and for your support of the winery and with what Ed and I do. It means the world to us. Thank
Absolutely. Take care.
you. Bye-bye.
Go Stars.
Stars, 4